Hello once again, everybody. It's one of your favorite YouTubers, Romeo, back with another episode of Romeo's Discussions. Today I want to talk a little bit about a show that I've recently started watching, and that is House of Cards. This will be a first impressions video. I'm 4 episodes in, so it's going to be hard to gauge where the characters are going or where they have ended up, because I think they've just finished season 2. So it'll be interesting to see what those of you who have seen it have to say about this video, and whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, or if you're just going to bide your time and see, this guy has no idea where the show's going. So, spoilers ahead for those of you who haven't seen the first 4 episodes. But so I will be focusing on 3 characters that help or hinder the show, in my mind, and we'll go from there. So, of course, you gotta first talk about Frank Underwood. Frank Underwood is the protagonist of the show, played by Kevin Spacey. And let me tell you, as a protagonist, Frank Underwood is incredible. He's intelligent, he's charismatic, and he's actually kind of ruthless. It's really surprising how ruthless he is. In the first episode, he gives this monologue on the different types of pain as a dog has just been hit. And to put an end to the pain, he strangles the dog. That right there screams, this show is completely different. This is not a usual do-gooder protagonist. This is a potentially a cruel man. But his motivations and why he's doing it are what come across to us as, okay, we can kind of see why he's doing this. But the fact is this guy is as far from a protagonist as it gets. This guy is selfish, he is power hungry, he is the epitome of a corrupt politician. But we love him because he's charismatic and played by Kevin Spacey with that lovely southern drawl that, everybody enjoys hearing once in a while. But the fact is this guy he's not like any show protagonist I've ever seen. It's almost like if a show decided to focus on the Emperor or Senator Palpatine and show his political rise to power. If Kevin Spacey ended up, at the end of the show saying, I'm now the Emperor of the Galactic Empire, I'd be like, it's legit, I buy it. So, but the fact is the best part about his character is the fact that he is personalized. The guy plays video games. He goes and eats at really cheap food joints occasionally. But the most personalized fact about him is that he breaks the 4th wall. I love characters that break the 4th wall. It involves the audience. It's no longer a show that's just preachy. It's like, hey, we recognize the audience and we're going to give you a little bit of insight into his psyche. Like, he'll literally just look away from the camera and be like, my lovely audience members, just because I am a confident, charismatic, and intelligent politician does not mean that I am a protagonist. In all sense of the word, I am very much a despicable and charming individual. And something like that. The second character that I want to talk about is Zoe. Zoe is a rising star journalist, White House correspondent. So far as what I've seen, that's the job she's been offered. And I don't know if she's got blackmail on Underwood. I honestly don't know, because he just, all of the blue, just starts giving her information. I guess, I need to rewatch those episodes or finish the series to figure out why he's actually saying, yeah, I'll give my time to this lowly reporter, even though she's not lowly anymore. I really enjoy not Zoe as a singular character, because her story is kind of, it's like the rising star of journalism. We've heard this 100 times before. But the way she plays out with Underwood is golden. It's hard to tell if they're having an affair or not, because she says these things and he never denies them. Like, I bet you have thought of that, and he won't say anything about it. But I think it's more of not a physical affair, but more of a moral and intellectual affair. Like, she's completely capable of bouncing off of his dialogue. She's capable of, taking the information he gives her. So I think he appreciates her in some way, but I don't know if they would ever come to a physical relationship. Maybe at least at this point. But just seeing them text each other, no dialogue at all. I was glued to the scene, just seeing how she would respond to his text messages. He would give her these short answers, and she would be like, okay, so this is what's happening, okay. Or something like that. But the third character that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to have to say this is the weakest character, at least in my opinion, because she kind of, doesn't have much going for her at this point. But that's Claire, Frank's wife, Claire Underwood. She's in charge of a humanitarian program, and she's just not very interesting. I hate to say that about female characters, but I think so much attention was focused on Zoe that they didn't have much, at least this far in the season, they haven't given much to Claire. Claire, has one expression, and it's this condescending look all the time. It's like, and she speaks in this complete monotone throughout all of her business deals and throughout her dialogue. It's hard to relate to her as a character because, she goes through these ordeals and I guess deals with them properly. Like, there was an affair getting ready to happen. She had a moment of weakness and then she was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So, I guess good for her. But then the thing that confused me was I think Frank knows about it because when she came home, he was like, are you going to stay here or are you going to stay with Adam? And she was like, I'm going to stay here. So does Frank know that she's having an affair or affair? It's hard to tell at this point. But those are my thoughts on House of Cards. So far, it's a fantastic show. I'm glued, and I'm going to probably binge watch over the course of the weekend. But I will ask, please don't spoil it in the comments. I want to enjoy this show, and, at least just for 2 seasons. I'll be finished with it probably by this weekend. But this has been Romeo's Discussions, and I will see you all out there.